Oh my God. What?
And looking at their schedule, once again they went 12-5 in the regular season. And like I said, they struggled against Tampa Bay, but luckily Cooper Rush was able to keep the season afloat, going 4-1 as a starter. And you can actually thank the defense to that for that too. But when Dak came back, they got 2 wins over the Lions and Bears after a setback against Green Bay, blew out the Vikings, took care of the Giants, blew out the Colts, barely beat the Texans, throw a pick six to lose a game against Jacksonville, beat the Eagles who didn't have Jalen Hurts, and beat up on an already dead Tennessee Titans team before laying an egg against the Washington Commanders. That's how their regular season went. But Dallas, they did make the postseason, and in that postseason, they did something that they haven't done in my lifetime. Win a playoff game on the road. It was their first road playoff win since 1991. And they beat up on Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was Tom Brady's final game. And prior to that, Brady never lost to the Cowboys. But as good things come, they just weren't good enough to beat the 49ers. And I'll talk about that game a little later. Now for some highlights. They went 4-1 without Dak, and you could, and like I said, you could thank the defense and Cooper Rush not turning the ball over as much in that stretch. Also, Tony Pollard was pretty good in that stretch as well. Because, like I said, week one, their season looked dead after that one game. But for some reason, Cooper Rush kept the resolve and kept the team winning for whenever Dak came back. They were able to keep that momentum going. Then there was beating the Eagles week 16. And this was another game where I actually learned a lot about Dak in that one. He threw a pick six on the first drive to get them down 10-0, but after that, he basically balled out. Now granted, like the Eagles did not have Jalen Hurts. This game would have went different if they had Jalen Hurts. So, but getting a big win over a division rival, whom the Cowboy faithful have called frauds, that'll be a good win for them. And winning a road playoff game. Yes, it was against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay pretty much shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. And it was Tom Brady's final game. As for Dak, he didn't throw an interception. The only issue in that whole game was Brett Maher missing all those extra points. Luckily, that did not impact the game. They still won. Now for some lowlights. Dak led the league. Despite Dak's coming back, he led the league in interceptions. He threw 15, and he missed 5 games doing it. That is not good. That is not good if you want to be one of those top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. And whatever this last play was, which was ironically Ezekiel Elliott's final play as a Cowboy, I don't know what it is. I don't know who came up with that game plan style, but yeah, it was a mess and it didn't work. On to some additions and subtractions, and honestly, it's been a mix. It's kind of a mixed bag. They added Ronald Jones the second. He formerly played for the Chiefs, but I don't think he'll be a big impact player. But the big impact came when they traded for Stephon Gilmore, formerly of the Colts, and Brandon Cooks, formerly of the Texans. Cooks has been linked towards the Cowboys ever since last year, and the trade finally pulled through. I think he's really excited that he's now going to be in Dallas, helping out, hopefully, to be able to stretch the field for this team. Now for the subtractions, most of the and all the big ones are on offense. Ezekiel Elliott, he's gone. He got released, and he's still looking for a home. Although I heard rumors about him in Tampa Bay having a mutual interest. Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz, both men left for the Texans, and Connor McGovern is also gone. As for the draft, they had a pretty quiet draft. They took Mozzie Smith, a defensive tackle, to fix their run defense. But they also took Luke, whatever how you say his last name, I'm not even going to try it, out of Michigan. Something about Jerry Jones and Michigan players. Last time they drafted a Michigan player, it didn't really work out. But more importantly, Deuce Vaughn. He's a sixth round pick, a short guy who's 5'5", but who and his dad is a scout for this team for the Dallas Cowboys. So that was a nice little moment. So Dallas Cowboys is win or go home. Which one will they choose? Let's take a look at my predictions and see what happens. All right, Dallas Cowboys. Let's take a look. And to start off their season, again, it's against the New York Giants. But at least it's at New York. Yes, I know it feels like they play the New York Giants week 1 on Sunday night every single year. But it's only the first time since 2019. And one thing I learned about the Cowboys is they're terrible on opening days. Unless it's against the New York Giants. And because of that, I got the Cowboys winning on the road against the New York Giants. But the next week they took taking on the New York Jets. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers owned this team. I think the Jets defense will shut down the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Jets in this one. But then again, they got the Arizona Cardinals at Arizona. I'm going to give them a win here. And I'm going to give them a win against New England. But against the 49ers, I think it'll be another case of the Cowboys being good. But I don't think they're not going to be good enough to beat the 49ers in this one. Then they got the Los Angeles Chargers. And, okay, I kind of went back and forth with this one. But since I'm going really back and forth, I almost gave this one to the Cowboys. I'm actually going to give this one to the Chargers for some reason. So after bye week, they're at 3-3. Not the best place they want to be, but they have time to turn this around. Week 8, they have the Los Angeles Rams, and it's one of just 2 games they have that is 1 o'clock Eastern. Rest of their games are just either 4 o'clock or Sunday night. They have a lot of these. In fact, the Cowboys, if y'all don't know this, have more. I think a lot of West Coast teams have more 1 o'clock Eastern games than several of these West Coast teams. Actually, I had this added backwards. Several West Coast teams have more 1 o'clock Eastern games than the Dallas Cowboys. And Dallas Cowboys are considered an Eastern team. But back to the program, I am the most. And it sets up a big game against Philly, at Philly. And I do Philly's going to step back. I think teams are going to figure out Jalen Hurts a little bit more. I think the Cowboys is going to win on the road in Philly. I know. Call me crazy. And that sets up with another divisional game against the New York Giants. I do think the Giants are going to finally get over the hump and beat the Dallas Cowboys. So give me, I think they lose at home to the Giants. Frankly, I got the Cowboys losing at home a lot already. And this brings us to the Carolina Panthers. Another 1 o'clock Eastern game. I do think the Cowboys are going to win this one on the road. And me myself, I'm contemplating going to this game or another game that's earlier in the season. I've went back and forth on this. Against the Washington Commanders, all against the which are games this year for Thanksgiving. I got the Cowboys winning that one. And then another game against the Seattle Seahawks. I got them winning this one as well. But against the Eagles, I think the Eagles will get revenge at home against the Dallas Cowboys. And also, I feel like the NFL copy and paste the schedule. Last year, on Thanksgiving, they had a 3 home game stretch. This year, they had a 3 home game stretch. Something I just noticed. Then we have the Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Diggs Bowl at Buffalo. And I do think the elements is going to play a big role in this one. I got the Bills winning. And against the Miami Dolphins. This is another game I went back and forth with. I kind of went back and forth with this game. And it's the game before Christmas. I'm going to give it to the Dallas Cowboys. I'll go ahead and give them a win against the Lions. And I have them losing to the Commanders at home, which brings their record to 10-7. I don't know if 10-7 will get them in the postseason. So far, I've already got 3 teams going 10-7. Hey, that's how the ball bounces sometimes. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. What you think the Cowboys record is going to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.